and also that because of his income, he really goes to restaurants, being on welfare, which they point out in the article. That's not an editorial of us. That's actually in the article. So he tries to get as much for his money as he can.
Right, kind of like a polar bear or a grizzly bear that hibernates over the winter and lives off its own obesity. Right.
Well, I mean, first off, in his defense, and this is a very fine line of the defense I have to throw out there, but if you are in an all-you-can-eat buffet, it's in the name, all-you-can-eat. It's not all we're going to let you eat. It's all you can stuff in your pie hole.
Yeah, if there's no small print on that sign, then the case ends right there.
And there is some where you'll see, like Nordic Lodge has a 2-hour time limit, or you'll see it's all you can eat buffet. It has a 3-hour time limit.
Right, but if there's no small print like that, then this fella's completely in the right.
Now, there's two just great things that I want to point out here. And first of all, knowing a little bit about the legal system, he's not going to get $2 million, but they're going to settle out of court because restaurants are insured for this type of things, and it's not worth the bad PR. So he's going to get a little bit of the dough for this. Also, because of the way that internet algorithms work with Google AdWords and Google Ad Search, on the sidebar, while I'm reading this article, is a coupon for Golden Corral, because in the article, Golden Corral is listed. I guess if you believe the old adage that there's no such thing as bad publicity, this guy could be the next Golden Corral spokesman if things go his way.
Of course, no such thing as bad publicity will probably end as a concept once we here at the station mobilize, let's just say, an army of ample eaters.
An entourage?
An entourage of, there we go, an entourage of ample eaters, starting with the people in this room. And we march on this Golden Corral buffet. I have contestants in mind right now.
I have a feeling that at said buffet, there's a sign with a time limit written on it now.
Quickly in crayon or lipstick, whatever they had handy to write it down, yes.
But he makes a good point, and Ed, I think we talked about this on your show, is as someone that's trying to lose weight, me personally, so now going out to eat for me is a treat. So I really look more at the quality of the experience and the food. It's not just going out to grab something and throw it down my gullet and get on to the next thing. So he makes a good point about really going out and trying to get as much as he can. But I guess
he's
there
trying
has
to
to
get
be a
his
limit.
money's worth. But again, that goes quality versus quantity. Yes, I can go out for $5.99, $6.99. Go to the Pizza Hut buffet or go to any of the buffets, $12, $14, and I can put a hurting on this thing. But yourself,
that Pizza Hut buffet will put a hurting on you too.
Trust me,
I've tasted it recently.
I will definitely put the plumbing through the test later on that evening. But while I am there, I will definitely stuff two-fisted eating is the only way I can express that. But being that I'm trying to lose weight, being that I don't want to fall into the same category as this, where someone is going to have to politely ask me to stop visiting the buffet for this time, I don't want to do that anymore. I would rather enjoy a little bit of food versus not spend as much money, get crappy food and indigestion later.
$10 for the buffet and $2 for a roll of toilet paper.
Well, actually, at Pizza Hut, I don't think it's so much toilet paper you're going to be needing as something to make you go. As far as I'm concerned, the last time I was in a Pizza Hut, which was probably the last, I don't know, I think that pizza had kind of the quality of Play-Doh. It was nasty stuff.
Without getting on too much of a tangent on this one, if you look at the volume of cheese and grains, you're going to have to drink about 8 gallons of water for that to become soluble again, to expel it from one's body.
Exactly.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Hey, now, I was trying to keep that as scientific as possible.
Yeah, but I had a visual. But one more thought before we get off of this subject, because it's actually making me hungry. But also, when you're coming to get value at a buffet, George, you may have the same situation and I am, where my significant other is not, quote unquote, I feel like I'm trying to eat my bargain for not only my meal but for her meal, because she's only going to have a couple plates of vegetables, maybe possible. I'm trying to get that bargain,
So what you're saying is you're eating for two.
I'm eating for two, exactly, and it's it's going to be that whole business model of an all-you-can-eat buffet has to be such a gamble. It must not be like.
Well, as long as you have some kind of mathematical quality of food combined with amount of food,
there's an algorithm to it.
Yeah, combined with price. Yeah. I mean, a couple of
That's why everything is breaded, starchy. You have 14 pounds of mashed potatoes. And
Right.
They try to fill you up with as much non-quality, non-protein
starchy,
based
bulky,
food.
bulky
Exactly.
stuff.
We
Right.
could
Fill 'em
probably
up.
do a whole show on Las Vegas and Atlantic City buffets. They're kind of their own
Well,
category.
you could do a show on actually, if you go to Foxwoods, you can trace the slaughtered cow from the, what would you say, the quality portions for sale at the steakhouse,
and the parts is parts.
and then because Foxwoods has
The
a
remnants.
Foxwoods has an upscale steakhouse,
Yep.
top dollar. Then you have things like the cafe. You have things like the middle of the road restaurants, and then tapering all the way down to the buffet.
You could do that at Lincoln.
Right, and you
At
so
Lincoln,
what you,
they have that really nice steakhouse, and then you have the KFC buffet.
And they're also missing
Right.
all their greyhounds.
right, right, but they had no problem disposing of those greyhounds, especially with the Chinese restaurant right down the street. But no, Foxwood goes one step better than the KFC. I mean, literally, if you go in that Foxwoods buffet and you pick up the ribs, there's no meat on those bones. those were cattle that came from a third world, Chernobyl, famine-stricken country because there is no meat on. They just gloop the sauce on extra thick, throw those things in the bin. Yeah,
It's like eating a chicken wing off a pigeon. All right, let's get back down to the music. Unfortunately, we're starting to run out of time, so we're going to hear from the Ghastly Ones up next. This track, Fuzzy and Wild, right here on the Tony Jones Show.
Enter the bizarre world of the psychosexual mind.
Man, the name of that one. The Butchers right here on the Tony Jones Show. Before that, we heard from the Ghastly Ones, Fuzzy and Wild. And unfortunately, we are just about out of time. Again, another one of those weeks that go back in hyper hours when you feel like you've just sat down and it's time to get away from the microphone. George, I think we touched on some very important topics this evening.
We did, but we only touched on them. I mean, here's one vote for doubling all our shows to 2 hours.
I think what you've heard tonight is way better than anything you're going to hear on the terrestrial big-time broadcasters, which, by the way, are going broke. If you're keeping track, Cumulus, they ended the week at about 49 cents a share, and our friends at iHeartMedia, which is Clear Channel, they're doing good. They're about $1 a share.
Well, you know what? Which is kind of surprising because 45 minutes out of every friggin' hour of their broadcast is commercials. I mean, honest to God, I mean, you know, myself working third shift, there are times when I'll put on talk radio, you know, in the wee hours of the morning, and honest to God, it's 10 minutes of every and it's supposed to be talk radio, but they talk for 10 minutes.
And how many spaghetti suppers can you be sold throughout the course of a third shift?
Yeah, spaghetti suppers and subscriptions to Truck Driver magazine.
And pills to help your prostate get a little bit smaller.
Yeah, pills and Truck Driver magazine. I mean, no wonder they're out of business.
Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, TonyJones.org, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Thanks for tuning in once again. We're going to leave you with a wee bit from one of my favorite local bands, the Nymphadels. Here's Wake Up. Bye, everybody. Bye.